All right, so we finished up with the extracting with advanced filters and everything. Now we're going to talk about VLOOKUPs and data validations. So VLOOKUP is a function. So V stands for vertical, H stands for horizontal. So there are things called, again, VLOOKUPs and H lookup. Vertical lookup because data would be vertical, like this, where we have columns. And H lookup would be something where we had horizontal rows. So for example, attendance, a person's name here, where they live, their address, their phone number, age, birth date, things like that would go crosswise. That would be horizontally searching. That would use an H lookup. Otherwise, for us today, we're going to use a V lookup because these are vertical vertical columns that we're going to be using. Okay? So for a V lookup, some things that we have here, I'm going to put down, say, an order number. Okay? And what I want to look up is a specific order number, and I want it to spit out a number for me. Say maybe the total. Okay? Or perhaps the model. Or even the make. Well, we'll keep changing them. How's that? As we go. So I want order number to spill out all this rest is information here. So, with that said, I'm going to do a VLOOKUP right here. Equals VLOOKUP. And again, since it's a function, you can go into the formulas tab and do the lookups inside of here. That's totally fine. I recommend just, if you remember it, VLOOKUP and doing it this way. Now again, just like before, you have options. You have a lookup value, table array, column index. If you don't like it this way, and you might get to it, and that's fine, open up the f of x dialog box, the insert function, and it's going to walk you through these things in case you forgot. The lookup value, this stands for what you actually want to find. What are you looking for specifically, okay? I want a lookup number to be one of these order numbers, okay? So I'm going to say whatever I plug into here. And I know right now it says order number. It doesn't make any sense. We're going to type a number in there, okay? The table array. Where are you supposed to look for this number? The entire table. I'm looking for an order number. Okay? So similar to that advanced filter, right? The entire table. Column index number. This means once I look in this table and I find whatever you guys type into H4, which answer do you want me to spit out? Well, I want it to spit out, I have total up here, so whatever's in column F. Now the problem is it says column index num or number. Give me the number of that. So for example, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I want 6. Okay, I'll click OK. And right now there's nothing in here because I didn't do anything. I didn't type a number in. Okay, so I want to put order number. Whoops. What order number? Let's say 1367. As soon as I press enter, 1367 is here. And I have a total of 5,772,480. And it spit back an answer of 5,772,480. Okay. The only thing different is this is not in money format or accounting format. So now it looks exactly the same. So what if I did order number 1498? I type in 1498. 1,960,440. So 49, here we are. 1,960,440. Same thing, right? It's the convenience of it. It's really, really nice. So one thing is this part here, whatever you are sorting by, this obviously has to have only one piece. You can't have multiple pieces. For example, I can't sort and pick this out for a VLOOKUP by pickups. There's too many pickups, right? But on order number, I can say spit an answer out. I have total here. I'll do the same thing, VLOOKUP. I'm going to look up the order number. I'm going to look from the entire table. And for the model, that would be here, column 1, column 2. So I'm going to put a 2 here. And I get a coupe. So 1498, we got coupe, 1.9 million, 1.9 million. It'd be just as easy to say the make, and then I would change this to column 3, not 2, but 3. So not only is it a coupe, but it was a Toyota. And you could have all of this information in here if you wanted to. There's nothing wrong with that. So, well, let's do that actually. Let's shrink this a little bit. Let's go to, let's switch this back to model. We'll make that make. I'm going to drag that over. Equals V lookup. I want that number, this entire table, and 2. So it's a coupe, it's a Toyota, and it's 1.96 million. Okay. So a couple things happen here. What if I typed in a number that wasn't right? That doesn't even exist as an order, but yet it's going to give me an answer? Well, what happens is we're going to scroll down to here and see it goes to 1822. That's capped at 1822. So this is way bigger than 1822. So what happens is the numbers start to loop. So it's looking for 1822 because this has to be sorted. Whatever you're searching on like this has to be sorted for this. So this has to be sorted. It's at 1822. So 1823 doesn't find it. So it circles back and says, oh, that's what I'm going to use for 1823. That's what I'm going to use for 1824, 1825, 1826. Okay? So the number, whoops, sorry. 1830, it doesn't know what to do with these things. It's kind of messed up. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to put what's called a data validation in here. So right now, not applicable because there's nothing it's looking for. But this is going to be a data validation, which means you're only allowed certain things. It's validating a certain piece. So that, again, is the data tab. It's not sort and filter this time. Data tab, what we're going to do is go over to data tools and then data validation. Now we have this list. You could do a couple different things. Right now, all we focus on is data validation itself. When I click on data validation, it says, what do you want to have happen in here? Currently, it says allow any value. I can have it allow anything I want right now. Type whatever you want. I could type in letters, numbers, money, funny symbols, whatever. It doesn't matter. And that's what I could type in there. However, if I click on this, I could make sure I only have whole numbers, so decimals are not allowed. I could say I want decimals only, so whole numbers are not allowed. We can go from a list, a specific list that I'm looking for, specific dates. If I pick dates, it's going to say, oops, between a start date and an end date. What are the ones you want to be included? Do I want between, not between, equal to, greater than, less than? Okay. So there's a lot of options in here. Same thing with time. If you had a timesheet that you were punching in at work, or you were a company owner and you had a timesheet that your employees had to type in, time has to be between your start time and your end time. Otherwise, it won't be allowed. So your employees can't say, oh, I came in 45 minutes early. I want extra pay. Well, sorry. You're only allowed to type in from the time we open to the time we close. So I'm going to click list. Now notice how between is gone. It's not an option anymore, between two things. No, it's from a list. Where is this list? Well, I want to allow a specific list. I could do one of two things. I could start typing 1122, 1132, 1184 with commas between them, and that's a pain in the butt. So because this is already sorted for me, I want to allow only things from here. Okay? This is my list, A3 down to A31. Only allow those pieces. When I click, an input message. You could put little messages here saying order number. Okay. The input message, choose an order to find, or just choose an order. That's fine. That works. An error alert. You've seen these before. Stop. Warning. Information. Okay. It could be a warning. Or actually, let's do the stop. Let's say not a choice. You did not select one of the order numbers from the list. Okay. So order number, choose an order. Okay. We'll click OK. And now order number, choose an order. That's what I'm telling it to do. See how there's a little drop down bar here now? It's a little list arrow. This is what I'm allowed to use. Okay. So if I click on this number, 1345, we find 1345 is a pickup for Honda. Total is 4.6 million almost. Pickup for Honda, almost 4.6 million. Okay. When I click back in here, I could click anything else. 4445. It just doesn't fit. Remember, it's still correct. It just doesn't fit. Double click to auto fit. 1445, I mean. 1445, sedan, Toyota. 13.56 million, sedan, Toyota. Okay. Could I type it in? Absolutely. 1122. Enter. It works. Why does it work? Because 1122 is one of the order numbers. 1544. That's right down here. It's a Dodge pickup. Okay. When I press enter, it still works. But if I try to type in 5645, this is what happens. I chose that message, right? The stop, not the warning, not the information. Stop, labeled was not a choice. You did not select one of our order numbers from the list. Click OK or retry. So I'm going to do retry. Whoops. Sorry. Cancel. There we go. We'll go through here and pick another one of these from the list. 1736. Now it works again. Okay? So that's where the data validation comes from. You're doing VLOOKUPs. VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP, VLOOKUP. Sorry. And again, they're vertical lookups because I have columns. And what they ask for is the first part, the lookup value. What do you actually want to find? The second part, where are we looking for this thing? Where's your table? The third part, the column index number. It's the number of the column in your table that you want to spit out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is total. So that's why it gives me a total. Model is 2. So I typed 2 right there. See? Make was 3. So we had this to be a 3. Okay? All right, so that's good for VLOOKUPs, HLOOKUPs also if you're going horizontally. And it's good for data validation where you create a drop-down list, like a menu basically, for different sizes for anything. If you made a mistake on this, go back to data validation, and you can always alter it, okay? Maybe your error alert, maybe you don't want the stop, but you want it to be a warning instead, okay? Now it's a warning instead of that red circle with the X. Okay. All right, so we're going to come back for one more to deal with dsum, dcount, daverage, dcount A. So database sums and subtotals. That'll be the last part of the videos here.